if you've been at Meadow Park here since my tenure, the first few years, there were some significant challenges that we faced here in the church. And it was amazing how quickly some of those soundtracks popped right back in. Not good enough. You're a failure. You don't know how to lead. Things of that nature. And you have to battle those. And you can either choose to live in that place and accept that place and stay there, or you allow God to transform those soundtracks to have a different message, a different narrative. You let God renew your mind and really hold on to what is true, what is kind, what is helpful, and let God speak new life into you. As a pastor for 25 years, I have talked to many people, many coming to my office, many meeting for coffee, and beginning to share things of their life, difficulties, pain, about their past, about failures, about mistakes and how much those weigh those down. So many relational challenges, so much relational heartache and pain between husband and wife or infidelity that took place. Wounded relationships between parents and kids, between siblings. Regret over decisions made in college or early in life. Addictions, alcohol, drugs, pornography. Things that were done that there's regret, like abortion, and just the weight and the heaviness. Years later. Illegal activities, things that were done and that just continue to weigh and continue to hold people captive. And just this longing for, how do I change that narrative? How do I not let that past continue to hold me back? Because when we do that soundtrack, it's just like this deep darkness. It's a heavy weight. It's an unwelcoming whispering that we hear, that this companion that says, don't let anyone know. Don't let anyone know. If they find out, they'll think less of you. Don't let anyone know. It will ruin your reputation. Who do you think you are? Ever said that to yourself? In times when you're down, in times when you're weak, when things aren't going well? I picture these soundtracks as an anchor. If you look at an anchor and you see this and you go, usually an anchor, you can use the metaphor in a lot of different ways. Anchors are good things. Anchors can anchor you to the truth. They're stable. They're there. But when they anchor you to the past, when there are soundtracks that anchor you, that hold you like a ship it moves around and it's in motion, but it can't ever seem to break free. It can't ever seem to move forward. That's what these broken soundtracks from our past do. They anchor us there. They hold us there. And you have a great future ahead of you. You got things that you want to do and accomplish and be, but these soundtracks will hold us back. Maybe some of these you can relate to. The self-blaming. It's all my fault. I should have known better. I should have done things different. Stop shooting on yourself. Perfectionism. There's a reason that is funny, because that's what we do. I can never do anything right. I'm a failure. And I'll never live up to anyone's expectations. We make a catastrophe out of it, right? This mistake defines me. I've ruined everything. My life will never be the same. You've got so much life ahead of you. I don't care how old you are. You've got life ahead of you. It doesn't have to be the final piece. We label ourselves. I'm a terrible person for what I did. We feel like I'm inherently doing something wrong. Something is wrong with me. Or we overgeneralize. Because I messed up this time, I'll mess up everything. I'm always a disappointment. We generalize it. We compare to others. Everyone else is so much better than me. I'm the only one who makes these kinds of mistakes. And then we think, what we forget and don't realize is that we think we're the center of other people's thoughts. People don't think about us nearly as much as we think about ourselves. But we think everybody is reading our mind or wondering what we're going through, and they're thinking about us. People must think I'm a complete failure. They're probably judging me. Can never look at me the same. Or we discount the positive. Even though I've done some good things, they don't matter. This one mistake overshadows everything in my life. And I'm not minimizing anything that we've done, the trauma we've gone through, the mistakes we've made, the regrets we have. There are serious consequences and impacts and effects of that on our life. But what is it that we keep telling ourselves? And that we anchor ourselves to that, and we can't move forward. But then beyond just that soundtrack, what begins to happen is, with the problem is that we begin to identify with our failure. It's not just something that happened, not just a mistake that was made, not just a sin, not just something that we regret, but all of a sudden, I am the failure. I'm a failure. Not, I failed. I did something wrong. I'm trying to learn from that, but it is now me. We identify it. It defines us. I'm unworthy to be loved. I can't be trusted. And we start putting labels. We start saying, I am an alcoholic. I am a drug user. I am a bad father. I am a bad wife. I am a bad husband. Fill in the blanks. And all of a sudden, this is now who we are. And it's being reinforced over and over by these soundtracks. And the result, what happens is we become a smaller version of ourselves. And we think, this is my limitation. This is now who I am, and I guess this is all I have to offer. There's not much. And we need to learn how to break free from these soundtracks that we hear over and over because they're not true.